Good morning, and welcome to the maiden voyage of the View from the Middle video series. This series is designed to provide some real-world solutions to some of our country's most difficult problems. And if you're like 80% of Americans who believe that Washington, D.C. is a totally dysfunctional town, then you'll be interested in this entire series. My name is Kevin Canfield, and I've been writing a column called The View from the Middle for over a year now. And the response from our readers has been exceptional. And it's been exceptional, I think, for a couple of reasons. First of all, The View from the Middle can accept the fact that there is wisdom in both sides of the political argument. For example, most of us agree that the government needs to operate with fiscal discipline if it's going to survive. And that's a conservative bedrock, and a good one. But at the same time, we understand that we need to protect our citizens from ourselves, because as a country we can be greedy and selfish. And that protection is a liberal principle, and also a good one. So there is wisdom in both arguments. But at the same time, The View from the Middle can recognize the inherent evil in the extreme versions of either side of the political argument. For example, just read A Christmas Carol by Dickens. Or if that's not current enough for you, look to Enron or the housing bubble that just burst, and you can see examples of greed and selfishness, and the disastrous potential of too much freedom and not enough government intervention. On the flip side, read 1984 by Orwell. Or you can read The Hunger Games. This is book 2 of that 3-book series. And this can give you an idea of what happens when a government truly goes wild and it takes away freedom of its citizens, or that freedom is given away. Again, if those books aren't close enough to home for you, just look at our debt clock as it races towards $20 trillion. Those debts will be due in my lifetime, and they certainly threaten the freedom of our children. I believe that real answers to these issues, like debt and taxes and abortion and even energy, they never come from the extreme version of either party. Truth lies in the middle, a middle that can embrace the wisdom of both political philosophies and avoid the disaster of imbalance in either direction. Now, the goal of this series might surprise you, because it is not to change your mind, but is actually to open it completely and to appeal that part of you that is not a slave to the extreme positions of our political elites. In the long run, I want to convince you that Washington should be listening to us instead of the other way around. Eventually, we'll fill Washington, D.C. with common sense thinkers like you and me, and not the ideologues we have today. So give me a week, and we'll be submitting our first video, which will be on debt and taxes. And until then, I recommend that you catch up on your reading, like I'm going to do. Here's a really good one. Mastering Sales. Great author too.